Everyone, how's it going? Bonnie Violet, trans femme, genderqueer, spiritual drag artist, chaplain.
I'm Pacey, transmasc, non-binary, mental health and recovery advocate.
And welcome to Transjoy Boise, where every story, laugh, and act of joy is a stand for our community.
We uplift bold voices, share real experiences, and celebrate trans lives thriving.
Tune in, connect, and spread the joy because trans joy is
unstoppable.
That's right, unstoppable.
I still struggle with my own title and intro.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I stress out about it.
I realize I feel like I got lost in it all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it happens. It's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the weather is a little. Yeah. I feel like I need to say something out loud because I feel like my AC's broke.
Yeah.
All the windows are open.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a little, I don't know, it's gray out, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm a little nervous about all the sounds that might kind of come through. So hopefully they're not too distracting.
I think
folks.
It'll be okay. It's probably just going to be more distracting for us.
Right.
But yeah, it's the AC is shot and it's still summer. It's hot outside, but it's kind of rainy and windy outside. So you might hear the blinds.
And it's muggy.
Yeah.
It's muggy.
Fucking hate.
It's like a drag queen's mug.
Perfect.
I don't know what that was.
And if you're
serving face,
if you're listening and you're not watching, you can't see that we have one of the new banners for the march behind us, which I'm really excited about. Mm-hmm. I think they turned out really great. Nixon designed them, and it says the Trans March and the rally. And I think that this part, the rally, is really important because that's the major difference between this year and last year. Mm-hmm. Is this year, one of them is we're starting the event with speakers and a rally at the Capitol steps, and I'm really excited about that.
Agreed. And for folks who maybe that were there and wondering, hey, we did have a rally, but we really didn't in the sense that yes, we had speakers mm-hmm. and they talked and it was at the beginning, mm-hmm. but a lot of the reason why we had speakers and stuff was almost just to entertain people while they gathered. It wasn't necessarily yes, we're going to pump up the crowd. Yes, all those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. But this year we put some added focus on that. One, we moved to the Capitol steps.
Yeah.
How could you distinguish? How would you say it's much more?
I would say it's much more in the sense that, it's going to be a different venue. It's going to be at the Capitol steps mm-hmm. that I think is just, ideal for a protest or a rally. Mm-hmm. The size, the speakers, but mostly the intent. I think that, so much has changed within just a year mm-hmm. that the reason a lot of us are showing up, those reasons have changed a little bit. Maybe not completely, but at least somewhat. And I think that we're going to see a lot more signs. Mm-hmm. We're going to see a lot more of the typical quintessential protest and rally things.
Yeah, lots of flags, lots of banners. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of just the slant of what you hear how people are going to be talking is probably going to be a lot more rally focused. It might have a little bit more of a political stand or a little bit more of whatever. Whereas last mm-hmm. year, obviously just existing does that political stance sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But we really tried to center on talking about the joy and importance of joy and trans joy in public, that sort of thing, mm-hmm. but not really in a political way, I guess.
Right.
Overtly.
Yeah. Because we definitely shifted into a more political stance in around November, I think.
Yeah, we really had to.
Uh-huh. And I think that last year for the march, we were really, like you said, focusing on joy, but now we've sort of been embodying the statement of trans joy is resistance. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's really going to come through in this rally because I want people to be there to celebrate our existence and to celebrate, all of the milestones that we've achieved, as a community and individually. Mm-hmm. That's really important to celebrate, definitely. But also to fight because we are under attack right now.
Yeah.
And I think just to make a statement as a group is going to feel really empowering. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm really excited about it and looking forward to it. We have last year we did flowers, which was kind of a big thing. Mm-hmm. And this year we're kind of getting away from the flowers. Obviously people can bring flowers if they want, but we're really kind of focusing more around flags and that sort of thing, kind of staking our claim. The tagline that you don't see on the banner here is "We belong here, no binaries, no boundaries." And I think that was something we really hopefully will proclaim more with we're going to have flags from all the different sort of gender expressions, as many as we can get. We're going to have a large one that's pink, blue, and white, which I want to reiterate. We always see that as the umbrella term that includes all trans, non-binary, intersex, two-spirit, all of them. Non-cisgender, we don't identify as a non, but any gender that's not cis is definitely like counted in that. And so we had at the Scrimeta case, we had put our hands on a flag before, so we have that same flag that we'll have hands on, and then we actually have an opportunity. There probably were folks who didn't get a chance to be there for whatever reason, and you want to put your hands on a flag. You'll have an opportunity to do that on September the 4th, which is the next Thursday, September 4th. And it's in collaboration with the ACLU and Legal Aid. They're doing an event to help folks around documentation, name change, passports, IDs, those sorts of things, as well as there's going to be opportunities to connect with mutual aid. And then we're one of the sponsors, and we're part of it. And so another aspect of that would be kind of being able to come and prepare for the march the next day. So if you want to come and make signs, if you want to come stick your hands on the flag, if you just want to come and like get connected with folks, it'll be a great time to do. So check it out. We'll have links underneath this, as well as you can check out our socials. They're not necessarily publicly displaying the location, but if you register that sort of thing, you'll kind of find out where to go. Yeah,
that's exactly how we did the Scrimeta thing. You had to register for the event to get the location, and that's just to keep it safe for everybody, and to discourage, protesters.
Right, and it's more so for us, right? Whereas I think one of the things with the march and the rally, and I think the difference with the rally too, is that we're really kind of understanding and making space the possibility that there will be people who are not supportive of us, maybe. Right. Either there or watching us online or seeing clips or whatever afterwards. And so I think part of that is really just being able to nod to those folks as well.
Yeah, I think last year, we had announced it so much earlier in the season that there was a lot more time for people to kind of catch wind of it.
Right.
And, like there was a segment of it on the news, or at least an article on their website, and I remember reading through the comments like, oh, this is going to be great, because of course all those, I can't even remember the names, like the Liberty Dogs and all those, like, oh, we're going to be there,
and then we had no issues. And that was the thing though, like we made it known very well in advance, so it was very publicly known because we wanted everybody to come. We didn't create it for people who weren't for us, but we also didn't create it being afraid or trying to deteriorate that sort of interaction either. So and so in doing that, we also had to take a lot of extra precautions around safety and security planning, de-escalating training, lots of volunteers and folks on hand. We had folks locally, regionally, and nationally keeping an eye out on just keeping an eye out for any sort of concerns. We had a lot of support last year in that. And we have a lot of the same support this year too, even though we're kind of getting we're starting a lot later in the game as far as getting the information out, as far as specifics, that sort of thing. Yeah,
and I think that, there are pros and cons to that just for safety wise, but things like as far as the support that we've gotten this year as opposed to last year, it's very different now. Like the political climate obviously is very different this year than it was last year. And we've been, running into some obstacles just regarding that, where last year we had support so easily, like when it comes to even basic things like getting permits, finding security groups or companies that would work with us, or getting insurance. It was so easy. But now, like I had an interaction just yesterday with a guy from an insurance company. Well, this was
and the same insurance company.
Yeah, this was the same insurance company that we worked with last year, but our contact was no longer with the company, so I reached out to someone else. This guy gets back to me. He's like, yeah, we should be able to work with you again this year. Just fill out this this application just for, whatever. And after he read it, he was like, no, we actually can't help you. And then it was the same thing with security.
Yeah.
It was like, I gave them all of the logistics, everything that they needed to know. And then
you're like, oh, we don't have any officers.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, that's fine. But then once I fill stuff out with like transjoy Boise, then suddenly it's an issue and they're no longer, don't have the capacity to help us. And that's been,
and it's literally a cut and paste from last year to this year, as far as, and it's the same people, or at least same organizations. I understand it's a different insurance seller, but it's the same company.
Yeah, exactly.
And when we are talking the city, we've also had a little bit of challenge. And I think that's the thing it's hard to know is we have reached a lot of resistance, and it's hard to know what is just, it's difficult, or what is about us being trans or doing this event. And it's really easy, I think, for us to jump to like, it's because we're trans. And I think there is some truth to that, but maybe not always. And so I think it's, for me, it's been an interesting balance of trying not to jump to that, but also not keep the possibility that it might be a thing. Ended up having a conversation, because I don't know if folks know, but when you do one of these sorts of things, you have to apply through the city, and you do have to get a permit. Like, even if it's just a basic citizen use permit, you have to hire security that has to be vetted and approved by them. You have to pay for insurance. And so there's kind of these processes you have to go through. And then they also notify the city, like the police, Parks and Rec, like all the different city departments that could be impacted by this event. They basically include them in the application process, and anyone can kind of chime in and say, I'm good with this. I'd be okay with this if it needs this, or I can't do that, or there's this other thing happening that, we need to think about. And so I actually got a call from a sergeant yesterday who, because we were going back and forth, because it seemed like there was a lot of confusion. We're doing the same thing we did last year. They're trying to tell us that there's this process that we're too late on. And I'm like, but this is what we did last year. And there's literally maybe a difference of a couple of weeks, but they're talking at a difference of like months.
Yeah.
And so it's like, obviously there's some miscommunication. So the sergeant called me. I was like, I don't like getting calls from the police, but I was like, hello, and he was really great. And he was like, yeah, it sounds like there's some confusion here. Told him about the event. He's like, yeah, we don't care. He's like, we're actually a little bit more concerned about the fact that there's a BSU game that night.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be so much more like concern and just dealing with people and all that sort of stuff downtown and otherwise. And so they're like, we're really not too concerned about it. Submit the permit, that sort of thing, with the route and those. I was like, well, we did send that, and say they hadn't seen it. So it seemed like there was just some paperwork stuff that got mixed up, or I don't know. It's hard to really know exactly.
Yeah.
But they were nice about calling us and telling us, hey, yeah, go ahead and do this. We're going to reach out you directly with our person from here. It's all good with us at this point. And then kind of pushes hopefully back in a more clearer place. And really kind of what we were looking for, not all this.
I think it was so interesting to me that out of, all of this bullshit that was happening, the police were the ones that came through and were like, hey, it almost seems like he was like, hey, that's they're being unfair. That sort of, because the process that was laid out for us that we had already had issues with months ago, I don't believe that they were being completely truthful with that, just because of the other organizations that have been throwing rallies and that have to get permits for that with very little time notice.
I'm like, these folks do it all the time. Like, why can't we do it?
And so I feel like there are a lot of ways to professionally say, and I'm using air quotes for professionally, to professionally say, oh, you guys don't qualify for this, or it's just out of our hands, when really the intent behind that is you're a fucking asshole and you are not wanting to support the LGBTQ community. And
and I think more and more places are becoming at least more and more uncomfortable or hesitant or unwilling to kind of like go even just the regular effort to work with us. Because even the I mentioned to the police officer that we were struggling to get security and insurance, that we, the same people we worked with last year and all that sort of stuff. And he said, yeah, it's really hard right now because people are driving their cars through protests and they're running people over, and insurance companies are like, they don't want to sign up for that. And I was like, especially trans things. And he goes, yeah, unfortunately, that's true, And so I also thought that was, I don't know, I just felt really seen by the police department. They have their,
of course,
I'm not like,
it's just ironic.
I'm not like, yay, police. But I was really impressed with the interaction that I did have with this one sergeant, at least. And kind of like how, and he also took the initiative to reach out to us and try to figure out, okay, hey, let's figure this out, instead of being like, oh, we'll just, push them off. So I thought that was a pretty positive experience.
I needed that, because after that email chain that we were dealing with, I was so mad. And I was reaching out to people like other organizers, and they were fucking furious and trying to think of different ways to make this work. But it just kind of really drove home why we have the rally at the beginning of this, because it's bullshit like this that is unacceptable. Like all of these obstacles that we shouldn't have to be dealing with just because of who we are.
Yeah, and they're just added layers of stuff that make things just that much more of an effort, or you have to work that much harder to get through the process. And it's just annoying, especially like, we've gotten started really late because of our own personal issues and things that have caused us to not be able to get this ball rolling sooner than later. But and I think in normal situations, people they would find a way to work with us, because people were like, hey, yeah, I understand. Sorry to hear about this. Sorry to hear about that. But some just weren't. And so I don't know. It's like, I would like to believe that there was just some crazy miscommunication and wires got crossed, but it's really hard because it's happening at so many layers. It's really hard not to think.
I love that about you, though. Like, you just have such this profound belief in the goodness of people.
And I don't think I'm naive, but like, I don't think I'm naive in it.
Because but I think that you are like, despite all of this, I feel like maybe they're just misguided.
I try to assume the best than the worst. And I think part of that is it's just easier to be in the world thinking that way. I'm
just so the opposite. And I feel like it's
taken me time.
A good balance.
And I'm not like that always. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I have my moments too. I think part of it is also, I think, being forward facing, not to saying I'm not being inauthentic, but I'm also talking on a podcast, for anyone to see. And so I think even at that, I'm going to be a little more cautious, I think. Not to say that I'm talking shit behind the scenes, because I'm not that girl either. But I would be remiss to say that that's not playing in a role in how I'm like talking about this in this moment, in this time on this podcast. Totally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I've been able to come around a little bit to not be so just furious all the time. So I think that
it's frustrating
to be able to see both. But one thing is, like, I feel like everyone can feel it, how different it is now than it was last year.
It's a lot more hostile environment for a lot of people, especially trans and non-binary people that we're talking about right now. But there's so many other folks that are also it's a hostile environment. I mean, I would almost even say to some degree, it feels like immigrants and homeless people, or people who have mental health issues, or, like, there are a lot of other folks that seem in some ways even more targeted than, say, our community. Not to say that, this isn't an oppression war, but I think it's important for us to realize that it's a hostile environment for a lot of us to the nth degree. That wasn't as tangible, visible, and kind of like without concern, like this year as it was last year.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy. It's only been a year.
Yeah, it hasn't even been. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Like today I was looking through, like, just reels, right? Just scrolling. And there was one that was like, I'm a football fan. watch a lot of fucking football. And there was something about this new controversial player or whatever, and this guy, just random guy, said a comment on it, and it wasn't even like a mean comment. It was just like stating what happened in this clip. And I took a screenshot of it. I'll post it on here. These people immediately were like, hope you don't get deported. Hope ICE doesn't get you. And I'm like, what the fuck? So that's where we are as a society. Like, this guy just happened to be, Hispanic, and people immediately jump to like, so like that's got to be a terrifying reality, because you're like, okay, if I make someone mad, some fragile white man mad enough, is he gonna call fucking ICE on me? Even though like I was born and raised here, I wouldn't feel safe leaving that on the shoulders of ICE agents to determine if I belong here or not. So I couldn't believe that. I was like, dude, we're talking about fucking football. Relax.
It's everywhere. It's throughout. And I mean, I think for me, that's the thing that in particular with ICE and everything that's going down that makes me even more concerned for my, immigrant like friends, or even just Black and brown people.
Exactly.
And kind of how ICE is, and like you don't even have to. You can be a U.S. citizen. You can it's just crazy the things that are going on. And like now they're sending the National Guard. I'm still learning a lot about like that and what that looks like. But I know they sent 14 National Guardsmen people.
Well, they're sending them to 19
Idaho.
states.
There was 14 to Idaho. Designated to Idaho.
And 19 states total so far. Which is obviously not good. And Trump has...
Well, and Governor Little was like, bring them on in.
Of course. Exactly.
Go ahead, bring them on
He
in.
fucking loves it.
They can help our ICE folks.
And Trump has made jokes about, the loophole of, you can't hold elections during wartime. So he's like, oh, wouldn't it be funny? And it's like, no, that would not be funny. So I think that everything is really, really scary right now. And everyone who is being targeted, we want you there.
We want you to feel like you're welcome there.
We want
that it's for you just as much.
Because, if there's an attack on one of us, there's an attack on all of us. So people that are being targeted by ICE, like, I want to be fighting beside you, just as, I would hope that you would want to be fighting beside me. So this day is for all of us. Like, yes, we're centering trans and non-binary folks, but it's for all of us.
Agreed. Well said. And after the march and the rally, we are also hosting an after party.
Yes.
So the rally is starting. 5 people are gathering. 5:30 is the speaker. 6 o'clock is the march. Until probably about 6:37. Then at 7 o'clock, we're hosting an after party.
Yes.
With our wonderful community partners, Roots Zero Waste Market, who also hosts our weekly social support group. And then Queerly Collected and their new venture, the Lavender Lounge.
Yes. And the Lavender Lounge is currently under construction as of today.
Yes.
Which is really exciting. We really want to support that however we can. But they're Queerly Collected is going to be open. And I don't know if you're unfamiliar, Roots is like a large building, and Queerly Collected rents their space out of that same building. So you'll be able to come in and, hang out with us in the after party and go and shop, do whatever you want. So it's going to be a really great time. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
We're expecting hundreds of folks. It's free. Or it's going to be all ages. The grocery store itself, the Zero Waste Market, it also has they serve beer and wine, and they have coffee and tea. They also have some really good food and stuff. And so they'll be doing their regular business stuff. So people who are 21 over, you can get a drink, you can get some wine. If you're underage, you can get something else, to drink, whatever.
I usually get like a latte or a cappuccino.
Exactly. We're going to have some entertainment. We're going to have a DJ, some music, probably some drag performers, maybe some other performance. And just kind of like have a good time for like a couple of hours from 7 to 9 p.m. So keep an eye out on our socials. We have an Eventbrite created for that event specifically. We are asking folks to go ahead and get their free tickets through Eventbrite ahead of time. This will just help us make sure that we have, that we know that we're getting, say, 700 people instead of 100. So, and that's not to say you can't come the night of, or you just found out, that sort of thing. But we just kind of want to get a sense, kind of like what we do, even with the march and the rally, there's a way that you can go ahead and sign up for that as well. So we can get a sense of how many people are coming. Also, if you want to sign up a group, or your friends or your family, you can sign up there, and then we can also put that on the website, and also just kind of, proclaim that, like this group is going to be walking in the march, as just another way to kind of make a public statement.
And it'll be good, like Roots and Queerly Collected, that's completely accessible. If you are unable to participate in the march, we really want you to go to everything else, and I'm really excited. I'm really I think that, not just like, I'm not going to speak for the community, but I need this event. It's going to be
a great time. And so folks, if you do happen to not be able to make the march and rally because of work and other things, we understand that. We wanted to have another opportunity for you guys to connect with community, and so this is that. There's great parking as well. It's in Garden City, so it's not downtown dealing with all the downtown crazy, but it's also not so far away from downtown either. So
it's a good space.
I think it'll be a nice location. And then we also have the Trans Village.
Yes, we do have the Trans Village, which is just our little designated space at Pride. So we're going to try and make it as relaxing as possible. We're going to have some blankets. You can come and cool off from walking around Pride and just hang out with us. We're going to have our little booth set up. You can come get some resources, some information, or just hang out with us. We're going to have people there the whole time.
It might be just a nice soft spot to land throughout the weekend, either if you're getting overwhelmed or just want to pause or connect. That's also, I think, a great opportunity to kind of bring up that we are looking for volunteers. So one of the volunteer opportunities is to kind of be in attendance, to spend an hour or two in that space, to kind of greet people as they come in, that sort of thing, direct them wherever they may need to go. So we are looking for volunteers to do that on Saturday and Sunday. So there's shifts both of those days. Either or both is fine. And then we also, of course, we're going to need volunteers for the after party, for setup, tear down, like working the door, checking IDs. And then obviously for the march and the rally, we need folks to help with setup, to carry banners, to walk people at the crosswalks. We need security, de-escalation folks. We need, we have volunteers across the board. Last year we had, I want to say we had around 60 volunteers or so. So that sounds about right. We're definitely going to need at least that much this year too. So, and again, we're a little late in the game. We have been getting some volunteers in, but we definitely are in need of getting more. So please do check out the links on our socials and on our website here, and sign up. You don't even have, it doesn't have to be like a full week commitment. It could just be for a couple hours, and every little bit really helps out.
And just quick, I just want to say that it's such a testament to our community that we're able to pull this off on such little notice. Everyone's really been coming together. We have had, life going on that we just couldn't step away from until very recently. And you have ongoing stuff happening, and we just want to thank everyone that has been helping us and supporting us through this. And we're very excited to be able to throw an event for everyone to come together and celebrate.
We've secured a number of sponsors this year, a lot of the same ones as last year.
And some new ones.
I know. Do we want to try to mention them now? We have Roots Zero Waste Market. We also have Queerly Collected in the Lavender Lounge. We have the Idaho Queer Democrat, the caucus, and Nixon Matthews is is a representative of them, and then is also on our leadership. Has done a lot of the graphics and website stuff, and just he's just such a dynamic leader. I'm so excited that he's been willing to jump in a little bit more this year. He was involved last year as well, but
more so this year.
The
ACLU.
And Jenna Dameron in particular, she's one of our non-trans, non-binary folks, but I would say she's probably like the best ally I know for our community.
Easily.
She's working
hands down
with the ACLU, has been there for a while. She recently was promoted and is now in charge of like trans advocacy stuff. I don't know her official title,
yeah.
but I'm really excited for her. I think it's a really great choice, and I'm really excited to see the more that she can do with that. So she's been involved with our leadership as well. They're also like a much larger financial supporter this year, probably one of our largest. They're a platinum diamond level. We also have the Boise Unitarian Universal Fellowship is always a great support as well.
And To Infinity and Beyond.
Yes, who's a new person for us this year.
New sponsor who is owned by one of the most genuinely amazing people I've had like the pleasure of getting to know recently.
And they're at the diamond level.
Yep, they're diamond level.
And that's like therapy, right? Or counseling services?
Almost exclusively to the trans community. Yeah.
They are non-binary themselves, I believe, right? The person who runs that. I always feel like when they start to talk about this, is like everything I know just goes cuckoo.
Yeah.
The Canyon Canyon Pride obviously is another sponsor again this year. We just brought on Homebound. Recently, we're still working on the details with that, which is like a
that was like 45 minutes
realtor group. So still, I'm like, did I even say it correctly?
It's one of the founders of Canyon County Pride.
Yes. Gender Justice League, the Seattle Trans Pride, they're all on board again this year. They're always great for like financial support, but they're even bigger, like just supports. They've been there, they've done that, so they can really advise us in a lot of different things. They're going to help us try to figure out this insurance and security stuff, potentially working with Elaine Wiley.
A phenomenal person. And she came down last year to help us. And I mean,
she's not gonna be able to make it this year though. She's very sad about that. But she's still gonna do what she can to get folks here. And then wanted to also send a shout out or condolences to Daniela Skinny, who is I believe executive director is her title, but she runs the Gender Justice League out of DC. And her husband passed suddenly just a week or so ago. And so we just send her our condolences and good energy in that direction with her, and always appreciate her support and her leadership. We got to go out to the Seattle Trans Pride event this year and really just get inspired and encouraged for not only this year, but we have a lot of big vision for the upcoming years and months. And so I'm really excited.
Me too. This year in particular, we've got a lot going on.
Yes, we do. And then I feel like we're forgetting some folks. We have Add the Words is at a diamond level. Oh my goodness. Please nobody get mad at us.
We will list all of them.
They'll all be listed below, and you can find out in the link. Again, check out our socials. I should have done a list, but I wasn't necessarily planning that. So
we can have that for next time.
Exactly. And we have a GoFundMe right now if you want to contribute to that or help get the word out for that. Or we also are still taking sponsorships. So you can feel free to get connected in all the ways. We're going to be booking performers. We're still looking for some great speakers too. So we do have some, and we have some folks in mind, but we're really looking to find dynamic speakers who are good representatives of the trans non-binary plus community, but also hold those intersections of other marginalizations. So we can really kind of hear diverse representation and stories from the diversity within our trans and trans plus group.
Exactly.
Folks. Yeah, it's always gets to try to be a lot to say it. You never can say enough when it comes to all the gender expressions, but
no, and it's constantly evolving.
Yeah, better ways to do it all the time. Gosh, is there anything else?
I think that's it.
I think that's pretty much it. Can you believe it's just like a week away?
I can't believe that.
A week, and like a week.
Oh my god,
everything.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Amazing. All right. Well, thanks everyone so much.
Yeah.
And take care. See you next week.